Of Baltimore, I want to say we're with you. We're going to stay with you.
The President of the United States typically issues major disaster declarations following natural catastrophes like hurricanes or tornadoes. But they've also been issued following the Oklahoma City bombing, 9/11, and most recently during the COVID-19 pandemic. In each instance, federal resources poured into the affected area, helping people with temporary housing, loans, counseling, and legal services, and helping the community rebuild.
There are three baskets of goods that come out of that. There are individual, public, and mitigation assistance. And the governor has to make the request, and then the president unilaterally can say yes or no. And at that point, FEMA decides how much money to put into this.
UMBC political science professor Brian Grodzki studies disasters, but 11 News Investigates caught up with him at the Arbutus Volunteer Fire Department, where he spent years helping the community.
So this is the Swiftwater unit that responded.
Grodzki wasn't there the night of the Key Bridge collapse, but his coworkers were some of the first to respond. Grodzki says Governor Moore likely didn't ask President Biden for the declaration because Moore felt Maryland had the resources it needed. A big reason why, within hours of the ship destroying the Key Bridge, President Biden vowed that Congress would pay the full cost to rebuild it.
I think Congress probably will come forward, and once they get around the Freedom Caucus, they will get this passed. It would be pretty shocking if they didn't.
Requesting disaster declarations also presents a risk. Grodzki says presidents decline about 20% of them, and they tend to be approved more often in politically competitive states. Maryland doesn't fit the bill.
It doesn't mean that it would get declined, but it increases the likelihood. And also man-made disasters are more likely to be declined as well, because there is that question of public versus private ownership of the disaster.
This is another key point. The law's narrow language in defining major disasters. Grodzki says besides natural catastrophes, presidential disaster declarations are usually limited to tragedies that involve fires, floods, or explosives.
It's amazing to think that if this ship had caught on fire or exploded under the bridge, that this would easily qualify as a major disaster.
In response to 11 News Investigates questions about why Governor Moore did not request a presidential disaster declaration, a spokesperson said in a statement that Governor Moore is grateful to the Biden administration and other federal partners for their comprehensive response, and wrote in part, "The Biden administration has provided Maryland with the tools necessary to quickly and safely recover victims, remove wreckage from the site of the collapse, and clear channels for ships." Grodzki says with Biden's backing, Moore is putting his faith in Congress to pay for the Key Bridge rebuild.
Without a disaster declaration, he really needs Congress to push this through if he wants to get it fully covered.